since we were here, and you know what? It looks like it's a better night tonight. What do you think, eh? Come on! All right. Have we got some more?
Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal Production channel over at YouTube. And this past Friday, which would have been July the 8th, me and my brother caught Anvil on their Impact is Imminent tour at the Fulton 55. It is their first U.S. tour post COVID-19, since they couldn't tour pretty much most of 2020 for their album Legal as Last because of, well, what I've just stated. So, and of course on this tour, they at least were taking, Midnite Hellion, which are these guys right here, which of course I picked up at the show. Their more brand new album. Again, they're based out of New Jersey. It is titled Kingdom Immortal. And I'll get to reviewing that at some point. But them and at least what was of White Wizzard. Because basically it was White Wizzard, just minus John Leon, who had to kind of back out of this date because of he's had COVID-19. So he's been pretty sick. And he, at least here and there, he did state online that, he can make certain dates, but not all the dates. So this was one of them that he couldn't make. But it was, again, I do have to kind of point out, it's the only time where I pretty much had seen a band that had a phantom bass player. Literally, the Invisible Man was the bass player. I could hear bass, but I couldn't see anyone. It was funny. But still, besides that, there was going to be two other bands that was going to be at least local bands. Again, one of them was at least a band called Third Stone. Again, with a female singer. Real nice looking though. And the other one was Lords of This World, or Lords of This World, I think they were called. Which I guess are kind of like a Black Sabbath kind of tribute kind of band. But they pulled out for some reason. I don't know what was the reason why they pulled out, but they did. And so Third Stone was pretty much the only local band that was on the night. So technically pretty much four bands besides, Anvil. So three bands and Anvil. But the crazy part of, because of the fact that White Wizzard didn't have John Leon, they were the first band to go on first. Normally, because since they are the band that's been touring with Anvil, you would have thought that they would have gone on at least after the local band, but because of the whole situation, surrounding John Leon and White Wizzard with the whole, him getting COVID, they decided to go on before Third Stone, which is crazy. But, those are going to be the changes that I think bands are going to have to make in order to at least to keep things afloat. And they were very good, opening up the entire night. Actually, I would say most of the bands besides Anvil were pretty good. And White Wizzard, besides the fact that they didn't have at least one of their main, founding members, they still put on a very tight show, playing mostly songs. To me, off of like the first two releases, being High Speed GTO and Over the Top, which are the only two things I was ever really that familiar with, by White Wizzard. I mean, they opened up with the song Over the Top, and then of course playing 40 Deuces and some of these good songs, and then ending off with High Speed GTO, and it's all great. All I'm going to say is that everyone was really good the night. I would say probably, besides, White Wizzard and Third Stone being very good on that night, I would say I do have to give a lot of kudos to Midnite Hellion. Them being a three-piece, legitimately, these guys were fantastic on that night. They were really freaking good. And of course, Anvil are always in absolute top shape. I will say, seeing them on this second time, I would say they were a little bit better than they were the first time. They're just a little bit, there was I guess the more enthusiasm of them being finally back, to playing shows and touring again post-COVID, I think it made them a lot more excited. The energy was a lot more up forward and everything. It just they felt a lot more, just even more happier and again everyone was so tight, and they're usually a freaking tight band as it is, and still mesmerized me and everything. And it was again, Anvil just put on a fucking great show. But again, I think Midnite Hellion were fantastic on that night, and they were the band to pretty much go on before Anvil. You know, from at least starting off with White Wizzard, then going to, of course, the local band Third Stone, and then, of course, Midnite Hellion. And Midnite Hellion were just absolutely full of energy, full of just that youthful, young energy, and they just brought a lot of just this sort of great stuff to the table. They were freaking great. So I can't wait to, of course, to, you know, give my overall thoughts on Kingdom Immortal. But Anvil were just, of course, them being the main band, they're just always great as usual. There's no, probably besides Saxon, I would say Anvil probably was one of the best current, you know, bands that are just playing live. They are just a freaking great band live. There's a lot of energy. They're just, again, for the age that these guys are in, especially Rob Reiner and Steve Lips Kudlow, they are just at the top of their game when it comes to these live shows. They're just freaking great. And this was a great night for me, too, because of, again, me and my brother had a great time, you know, watching all these bands. But for me, what made it really great, why I think I tend to really, I will gravitate towards this time, you know, seeing Anvil than the first time, is that I was a little more closer to the stage. Of course, this time, of all the to the previous times I've been at the Fulton 55, they usually had tables. Well, this time around, they had no tables other than the stuff for like the merch tables and everything, but nothing, you know, for anyone to, let's say, sit down or, let's say, put their beer on, you know, anything like that. No tables, no chairs. And it was crazy. But, so I pretty much had to stand the entire night. But at the same time, it's all about the experience, and I got a great experience out of all of it. And I would say this is probably my favorite experience, seeing Anvil, just because I was more closer to the stage. And when he would come down to play in front of us, I was a lot more closer to him, actually. And by the time, you know, ending off with Metal on Metal, he comes back down, and this time, I'm pretty much right in front of him. And after the show, again, it was just a great experience, just actually, you know, right up front, right, you know, just standing right in front of me, just watching him again play. It was just a complete, mesmerizing and very starstruck kind of moment for me. And after the show, everyone starts shaking his hand. Everything, he's shaking everyone's hand. And then all of a sudden he just says, I'm pretty much just thanking everyone for coming out, and that he likes to take this moment to shake everyone's hand. And that's when I stuck my hand out to shake his hand, and he did. And again, shaking, and the thing is, I still had it out, and he still shook it again, so I ended up shaking his hand twice. It was just a complete great moment, because the first time I didn't get to really meet, you know, Steve Lips Kudlow. I did not get to meet him. This time around, what's crazy too is that Rob Reiner was peeking out here and there. You know, when all of us were kind of standing outside before the doors would open, he was basically here and there would come out of the door, or at least the side of where the bands have to go in. You know, to they enter. And not really where the audience, the fans are supposed to enter. But he'd be coming out his side of the end and would either go out to either smoke a cigarette or something, or just gets, you know, for some fresh air. He just would be popping out. He was, so, in a way, I think he was like kind of like here and there peeking to see how many people are coming. And I think it was just a great experience. So, but I didn't really get to meet Lips the first time. But I finally got to this time, and the fact that he takes the time to want to at least play in front of everyone, like literally, to where everyone is like hovering him over him, just to play, and him just going along with it, and him just, you know, being the stand-up guy and to shake everyone else's hand after the show for, like, you know, just for thanking them for coming out. I think really speaks a lot of volume for what kind of person he is. And I just enjoyed it, every bit of it, and I just end up gaining more and more respect for the guy. And so it was just a very fun night. But right now, I wanted now to take the time to end this video and to end off with you guys seeing the footage of the band. At least I'm going to show you at least 4 footage, or at least, depending on what kind of footage I'm going to throw in here, at least I'm going to throw you 1 footage of at least White Wizzard. I'm going to throw in 1 footage of at least what at least I have caught of Third Stone. And I'm at least going to throw in at least a footage here, maybe here or 2 of Midnite Hellion. And of course, I'll throw probably a footage or 2 from Anvil. So without further ado, enjoy this live video collage of me pretty much at the night at Fulton 55 on July 8th. So, take care, everyone, and I hope all of you enjoyed.
Fresno, are you ready to rock? Yeah!